Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. And you already know what time it is. It's time for the best of the 757 Community Talk Show. Whatever we do, we're going to keep bringing you information and making sure that everything you need to know about what's going on in the 757, you find it right here on WVDM. Welcome to the show. How y'all doing? Hope that everybody is blessed. Everybody's doing what they need to get done because it's all about sharing and caring. And I'm your host, of course, the one and only Captain85. How you doing? Hope that everybody had a great day being off for the Veterans Day. And of course, we want to salute the veterans and all that today, send a shout out because we weren't on yesterday. But nevertheless, I'm going to do my best to let you know that whatever we do, we're going to make sure that everybody get informed. How you doing? Go ahead and hit that share button. Invite some people over to the page today and let us get to saluting our military people, and let them know how much we appreciate them. And for all those that have people in the military and serving abroad and locally, just want you to let you know that WVDM, Bond Digital Media, Radio and Network, the best of the 757 Community Talk Show, GA for Justice, and we want y'all to know that we care about you and we care about our community. Wherever you might be stationed, we want you to know the sacrifices that you make don't go unnoticed. Do not go unnoticed. So I just want you to know here we care just as much about you and your family and the sacrifices that you made. And I also want to send a shout out to my son and my wife, who was in the military when I first met her way back early in her early years at the naval base. She was in the Navy, and now she works um, in one of the institutions to help rehabilitate prisoners. And my son, he's in the Army, and I want to send a mad shout out to all those in the Army. Big shout out. Uh, appreciate your service. And my daughter, I don't have her picture. She used to be in the military, but she's out of the military as well. She was in the Navy for 10 or 12 years, I think. And that's Latanya Jones. Yes, my oldest daughter. And I want to send a mad shout out to her as well. And also to my nephew. Got so many people that's been in the military. David Vaughn he's in Norfolk. He stays in Norfolk now. And he works in Virginia Beach. But a big salute out to David Vaughn. But thank you for your service. And my brother, who was my oldest brother, who's passed away. He was in the Navy or the Army. No, I think he was in the Navy, as he worked on the base. And to my other nephew, Richard Vaughn, who passed away several years. And these are people that are deceased in the military. And also to my uncle William Vaughn, who was fought in World War II. There's so many. My other cousin, who's in North Carolina, um, his name is Bunny. We call him Bunny Stevenson, who also served over in Germany in the military. It's so many. I got so many people that was in the military in my family. When I went to join, I was eight. When they had the ranking system, A1. That was uh, during the Vietnam War, and they reduced my rank down to H1. I guess I don't know what it was, but it was like involuntary or something, or I don't know what it happened. All they know they reduced it. They reduced me uh, when they was drafting. That's back when it was drafting, and to go into the military. So they reduced my status, and I wasn't able to go in at the time. And then I went to try to sign up for to go in the Navy. I don't know. It's just so much stuff when you're trying to do that stuff. But God make no mistakes, and that's why I named myself Captain 85, because I try to serve in the community and help, do things to uplift our community, and most of all, to inspire and motivate our future generation, our young people. So don't get it twisted. My campaign and the volunteerism I've done, the marches that I've participated in, uh, meeting with city officials and trying to get things done and change the way our young people have less access to activities and recreation, and people don't understand when you don't have those type of activities going on in the community. This is where the gun violence and all the negative stuff come, because our young people don't have the finance. Their parents don't make enough money to get them memberships at recreation centers, and then a lot of centers were closed down that they had no access to. And even today that goes on in Virginia Beach. They have recreation centers, but in Virginia Beach at the William Farm location, Pharrell Williams several years ago donated $1 million for a recording studio. That's right, recording studio. And today, the community cannot use that recording studio, which is located. The Williams Farm Recreation Center is located in the area of Bayside, right across from Bayside Middle. Bayside Middle, and right around the corner from the Williams Farms. Betty F. Williams Elementary School. And when I talked to the people there about why is it that this recording studio was open up for the community to give them, allow them to go in and record. And for years, I went to try to get that facilitated by bringing my DJ in to help operate and help record stuff. And, they just had excuse after excuse after excuse. And it's always the same thing when it comes to the Afro-American community. What people don't understand, it's always about money. The recreation center was built for the northern corridor, for that area, to give the Lake Edwards and surrounding areas a recreation center for the youth. And people don't monitor it. I monitor because I had my kids going there uh, and going there just to see what type of activities going on. And every time you turn around, this recording studio wasn't open. Went there. They said they didn't have the money to have somebody to come in and operate it. What? You spend more money to the police department trying to catch people that's committing crime. So what part you don't understand is, without access, without economical, financial, that there was always be problems in our community. Our young people look at TV and the internet and see their counterparts, young people going to bush gardens, going on cruises, and we sit around and pretend that our kids, only thing they're supposed to do is go to school and get their work done, and that's it. And it still goes on today. It still goes on today. And that brings up the meeting at City Hall today at 7 o'clock. or 6 o'clock, where they're trying to reverse the 10-1 system. After the state said this is what the guidelines they have to go by. Now, how do you keep doing the same thing, spending millions of tax dollars to try to overturn something that the state has already approved? And what make it no sense, when I looked at the news last night, they said that there are some citizens in the community don't like the 10-1. But it was the citizens that said they wanted the 10-1. And please believe me, it's not enough black people in Virginia Beach to make a 10-1 system get approved. It wasn't just the minority people, it was the white people as well. White citizens said they want to approve the 10-1 system. This is what the city of Virginia Beach do. You go forward, they please tease you, saying, okay, we're going to do this. And then when it get done, and it's not working in their favor, then they gradually start to change it the way they want it. And let's go back to the way it was. We ain't going back. We ain't going back. That's why our future generation is in prison, going to jail. We ain't going back. And that's why, congratulations to all those people that won in the city. And those that won run for the mayor's office. If they didn't win, then I think they lose their seat. Don't quote me on that, but I think they can't contain. They finish out to the next election, and then, of course, they out. I don't know if they can run again or however. I mean, they got so many rules and regulations when it comes to city. I'm not into politics. I'm into common sense. Common sense says, why are you doing the same thing to get the same results? Now, all of a sudden, the people that said they wanted a system are now saying that they don't want it. And now you're going to vote on it because you got people that still, you think you could overturn something that the public has already voted for. Why do we keep going down the same road? Is it because that it seems that we are moving forward? You can't go back. You can't go back. What we need to do is continue to vote people out of office. All the tactics that they use, the trickery that they use to get people to run for office, and knowing that if they lose, bring back people that's been on city council for years, bring them back, knowing you're dividing the numbers. I mean, it don't take a mathematic genius to know, hey, if I get this person to run, that person to run, that's going to lose. They're going to lose by the numbers. It's a number game. Everything is a number game. And I've been dealing in the city of Virginia Beach for years, ran businesses for years, created opportunities for local citizens to make money, to improve their bottom line. But the city didn't like that either. So they decided to say, hey, let's get him out of business because we don't need that kind of business. I don't run the police department. The police department is to protect and serve. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Our job as family people that have kids, we're supposed to make it better for our youth, for our family. We know not to break no laws, because if you break laws, you know they're going to put you out of business. How do you get out of business trying not to break laws? How do you get out of running a business knowing if you break a law, you're going to be out? I don't care which way I turn in this city. They are constantly trying to keep me from doing anything in this city. But if you keep your mouth closed, nobody knows. They just think it's you. They keep telling me only thing I want to do is make money. I have made money for other people. I have made some money to take care of my family. But with medical conditions and all the other things, money, I can't make money because I'm medical disabled. So if I try to use my art talents, the city, I got it in writing. The gentleman head of the recreation center said, department saying only thing Mr. Vaughn is trying to do is make money. But how can you tell me that if you're getting a paycheck from the taxpayers and the taxes that I paid? And then people say, well, I didn't know you was an artist. You didn't know I was an artist. Well, I got to run around and brag about all the things I do. Well, how did you think I came up with the comic book? How did you think I came up with the character? It just fell out the sky? And you see why we're back at the same table after Bruce Smith had to fund the disparity study, and we right back at the table. Economical growth is up. Pharrell Williams brought in something in the water, building construction down in Virginia Beach. What are we doing? Do we have to keep going back in time when we should be moving forward for everyone? If you lift one community up, then that lifts up the other community. And if you're lifting up the community to be prosperous, because I see things on the table in the city of Virginia Beach that is being prolonged. The African Cultural Center has been there going on 8 years, and yet no ground has been broken. So how can we, as a community, y'all build a whole brand new, you build a whole brand new city hall, and you ain't even broke ground on the African Cultural Center? When you had every opportunity to do that with the funding that President Biden gave every community, $150 million for grassroots organizations to do work in the community. You could have took a percentage of that where you could have uplifted, where it wouldn't be such a hard thing to raise money when the Afro-American community doesn't have it. They can only do fundraisers, and you prevent them from doing that. You tell them, well, you can rent this, you can rent the Wesleyan or the Pavilion and pay us $10,000 or $20,000 to try to raise money. How are you gonna do that? Every juncture you go, it's a dollar to it. But yet you're saying that the citizens of Virginia Beach don't want these things because the economical growth, construction, we are continuing to sit there and be Don't be asking us no questions. As the old saying, do what I say do. Do what I say do. That means, oh, we're not educated anymore. Now, was in a special education class. I know at some point you're supposed to get knowledge of what's going on. You're supposed to be able to ask people, hey, how you doing? You doing okay? So if we're supposed to do something better, explain to me what happened to the recording studio at Williams Farm. How come you took that from the community and turned it over to the school board? And nobody can use it unless the school schedules something. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I thought it was there by Pharrell Williams putting money, making a donation to build the studio, recording studio, to give activities to the youth to have something to do. And a lot of these things, their community don't know because nobody talks about it. Nobody checks on it. But because I really work for the young people, but they ain't got the money to pay me. So I was doing fundraisers to raise the money so I could do things in the community. But what I get is, only thing I'm trying to do is make money. Well, then y'all have a mayor's summit or something to bring in new business. So the only person that's supposed to make money is the people that's running the city. The minorities are not supposed to make money. So everything you move forward and you're saying we're going to move 2 steps back. Let's just contain this so that they thinking they're moving forward. The hive was open up to encourage people to get the information to open up a business. And I've been there too. And for a person that never ran a business, and even for people that's run a business, all the paperwork you got to do just to get funded, by the time you do all that, you're exhausted and you don't want to do it. It's like, let's do this. Let's do that. Is not our people already spoken? The citizens of Virginia Beach saying they want the 10-1 system. It's no rocket scientist stuff. We still got people that's been marching, NAACP, community activists, Black and white, Hispanic, marching, coming together, sitting down at the table, trying to reach the gold ring. And all we're trying to do is just want to take care of family. All the gun violence going on, the money that you spend and waste and trying to solve a problem, the money that you get to solve a problem, if I had that budget, you would never have gun violence in any city. And I don't need everybody's budget. Some things are just common sense. The things that y'all talk about doing, my research is extent. John Hopkins say alcohol and drugs didn't work. They disbanded that 10 years ago. I come with a program that deals with mental health and activities that will curtail the problem that our young people face. But yet, I don't get no assistance. It is like, no, we don't need you, because if you start talking, that might encourage other people. Well, we got a lot of people in place. We have a lot of people with college degrees. And I did my research in the 70s. And the day is 2024. My research had already showed that gun violence was mental health. And what part y'all don't see? The Surgeon General had to come out last year and say gun violence is the mental health. Well, gun violence has always been a mental health issue. Look at your military. Look at the military. All you got to do is ask the military person that's been in war. Isn't that mental health that affected them? So what did you think you were going to get if the young people get guns, easy access? What do you think it was going to create? Mental health problems in our community. After slavery, black people had guns. They weren't going around shooting each other. They won't even go around shooting you. But it seems like if we're moving forward to progress for the next generation, are we sitting here thinking that the same scenario is going to keep playing out? I speak from not from a political standpoint, but a spiritual one. You're playing with God. And when you play with God, like you are God, God always have a way to get your attention. And I don't think y'all seen it yet. You're playing with God. See, I'm just a human. I'm just the messenger. I'm just letting you know the future generation is at stake. Somewhere along the way, I don't think y'all got the memo. Because you keep spending millions of tax dollars trying to overturn something that has already been approved. Look at that money, what you can do with it to solve the problem of the mental health, homelessness, the high cost of taxes. We continue to spend tax dollars. You're not a good stewardess of the city of Virginia Beach coffin. Money coming in, and you say, well, hey, let's just take this over here and put it over here. Let's take that and put it over there and put it over there. They won't know the difference because they're watching the news and the talk shows, listening to all that rap music. As Hal Melvin and the Blue Notes used to say, wake up, everybody. See, when storms come and winds blow, it ain't got no name on it. It ain't got no name on it. You're the largest city in Virginia Beach. You're surrounded by water. Haven't you been watching the news? What's been happening to other cities? You can't control the weather. But the person that sent me to tell you this, he can. It's Jesus. Even Pharaoh learned that during Moses' time. When God told Moses to tell Pharaoh to let my people go. One of these days is going to be more than a rain. One of these days is going to be more than a flood. And then what you going to do when that comes for you? You won't be able to pass a bill or policy because the power of God is more prevalent than what you are doing today. Everybody in the city of Virginia Beach, minorities, the white population said we want to work together. We're doing fine if we work together. But the city of Virginia Beach, right after the election, you're saying you want to take a vote on a bill that's already been passed? I hope y'all hear this. City council meetings, Virginia Beach today. You need to get there before they vote on it and voice your opinion. Because I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm tired because, with medical conditions, you can't move the way you want to. With the age, as you get older, you can't move as fast as you want to. But one thing for sure, you don't give up. I'm fighting for the future generation. Maybe they'll be able to make some money to take care of their family when I'm no longer here. I'm fighting for those young people that want to use their imagination and be creative without somebody saying, hey, you're a bully. You're not listening. I'm fighting for the people that want to go to school and get an education and don't want to be videoing while they're in school, disrespecting the teachers, the principals, the people that clean the building, then keep it sparkling, man. Do you ever look around at the schools, the recreation centers, how clean they are? Did you ever ask the child, how do you think we keep this clean? Oh, slave labor? No, they're not slaves. They're just getting slave wages. Because as long as the economy keep going up and rising up, by the time inflation get to you, you're still working for $6 or $7 an hour. What part that people don't understand? I'm not a mathematical genius. I'm not a rocket scientist. But education kind of like help you understand that if I give you something, I'm going to have to take something away. Well, we'll increase the gas prices. We'll increase food prices. While y'all partying like it's 1999, we're going to raise taxes on you. The difference is all you have to do is know what a budget is. You have to learn to cut back. Stop going to the store, buying a lot of food that's going to make you put on weight. Stop going to the store, buying furniture you don't need just to say, I want my house to look good. Stop buying expensive cars that you can't afford to put gas in or make the payment, so it messes your credit up. So at some point, common sense is the right sense to know. If you notice the news, what did they say about Pharrell postponing something in the water to next year? Look at what it costs. Look what the people that own the businesses down there in Virginia Beach was hoping to make money. Why? Because that money carries them through the wintertime when there's nothing, no activities down there that bring people to the beach. Oh, you didn't think of it that way. You was disappointed because you couldn't see your favorite artist perform. Well, it's a price. With everything going on in the entertainment business, maybe he couldn't get the people booked that he wanted to bring because so much stuff is going on in Hollywood. And with that going on, their prices is now going up. Well, you got to outprice the tickets. And you go in the hole. Then nobody makes money but the entertainer. Weren't people already complaining about the high prices of hotels, high prices of the tickets? What do you think? Oh, they supposed to entertain for free. Nah, I'm the only one that do that. I'm the only one that does that. Because everything I do is a price tag to it. You say, I want to sell a coloring book, comic book, but I can't go to the printer and say, yo, dog, won't you go ahead and print me 5 or 1,000 little books and I'll pay you back later. What do you think? You think he's Sam Sartre here? Suppose you don't sell no books. He ain't getting his money back. And you are looking like, well, you shouldn't depend on those that said they were going to buy it. That's why you got to get everything in advance. You got to pay for it in advance. You can't even go to Apple Store no more and buy an app or download one or buy anything. You got to click on it to get the price. And when you click on it, then you got 30 days if you want to cancel it. Then they're hoping the average person, let's say about 20 to 24% of the people that do that forget about they clicked on it and didn't cancel it. I wonder who's done that. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. Because I have done it. And then when I look at my bill, or look at things like, I don't even use that. What? That's $10 a month? That's $120 a year? That's $5? That's $60 a year? That's $160 right there. Man, they done got me. And then with the storage they get you to click on and open up an email account. Next thing you know, you done clicked on. Then you got all this email coming to your account and you ain't sending out emails. Man, they getting you. But what we have to do is stop allowing the technology to get us. It's sad. It's really sad how we look at things. Our young people that's getting college degrees in education is leaving Virginia Beach. One, it's becoming too expensive to stay here. Two, they're getting better offers in other cities and states. And they're getting paid to move. Money doesn't last. I don't care how much money you get. It doesn't last until you add something to it. The bank don't make a profit unless they can get you to get a credit card. The bank don't make extra access unless they can get you to be late paying your credit card. So they can get $30 to $40 late fee. Then they want you to get a more money on your credit card that you don't need. So every time you increase, that puts you in another interest rate. Doesn't lower your interest rate. It makes you believe that until you use it. And then once you use it, oh, well, you're in debt for another 4 or 5 years. Why do you think it takes you 5 to 20 years to pay off $4,000 or $5,000? Unbelievable. And if you pay it and use it again, get a cash advance, you think you balling? You ain't balling. You're going to lose your interest. You're going to lose your credit. And you're in debt until you file bankruptcy or don't file it at all. And it stays on your credit for 7 years. Anything you get after that is going to be high interest. See, back in the day, they used to what they call loan sharking. Who's doing the loan sharking now? The banks. You say, well, how's the bank? Well, if you ain't got good credit, ain't your credit 20 to 30% interest compounded daily? What you thought it was just 20, 30% a month? No, it's daily. Read your paper. Do the math. Do the math. And most of the time, you haven't even used the credit card. You're just paying the interest because you had the credit card. You've been hoodwinked. You've been bamboozled. You've been run amok. But I know I'm just talking. That's all I can do. I hope somewhere along the way I make sense to some of those that might watch this video. Our young people are dying, and it seems like nobody really is crying. Yeah, we crying to ourselves. Man, a hamburger now 20 cents. What part you don't understand? You thought they just came up with that number. What part of that you don't understand? Everything that you're doing and spending and buying today, they already priced those stuff about 10, 15 years ago. Why you think they keep raising prices? Why do you think you got the computer? But they don't tell you that the black man invented the computer. They just tell you Bill Gates or Apple. No, they didn't invent it. They might have redone some things to it. But when you start doing your research, you see that a lot of things that we use with technology is created by people of color. But hey, who am I to say anything? I was in a special education class. I'm not supposed to read. I'm not supposed to be able to understand technology. I'm not supposed to understand what technology does. Yep. But I tell you this, if we as the people come together, not just black people, not just the Mexicans, just not the Filipinos, not just the Italians or the Greeks or the Romans or whatever country you might have came from to come here. Don't you have kids? Don't you have a dream for your kids to be able to walk down the street and be happy? If you got people that are unhappy, if you got people with mental health issues, it's like walking through the jungle. Hey, I got a gun. I ain't scared of now ammo out here. Let that tiger come out here. Let that snake roll up on me. Roll up on me. See what happened to him, bro. I'm telling you now. But when night falls, or when the sun rises, the news is making money. 24 hours a day, the machine is still making money. But the people that watch it, look at it, use it, you ain't getting a dime. You're told it's relaxation. It's exciting. But how can it be exciting when you're afraid to go out? When you don't know what person might have an attitude about something or someone, and you become a part of the line of fire. What you need to do is start listening to what your local elected officers are telling you. It don't matter what you want. I'm the mayor, and I got at least 4 or 5 people on city council going to vote what I want. I don't care what Richmond say. I don't care what they say. We ain't going to have the 10-1 system. But if it was just black folks that voted for the 10-1 system, I could see you might be a little, roughed up. Your feathers might be roughed up. But it was the citizens of Virginia Beach. And you are coming back saying, hey, well, I want to do a referendum or whatever y'all call it. Because a lot of people said they don't like the 10-1 system. Why not? If people are voting, asking to run for an office, and the citizens going to vote for them, I think the citizens are supposed to have the last word, not city council. because the governor of the state, Supreme Court, or what court it was, saying the citizens already said that's what they wanted. Oh, what citizens are that? Because I ain't heard that. What? But you on city council? Yeah, but we don't get enough people to, as one person told me that sits on city council does what city council wants to do. So if they do what they want to do, why are you on city council? See, God has a tendency of removing people that's supposed to be fighting. And if you ain't fighting, then bring it to the citizens' attention and let them know that I can't get it done because city council don't want it. And I done voted for it. You see, I'm getting shot down. You see my vote for it, but everybody else voted against it. Well, how come those people are still on city council? The citizens of Virginia Beach, you don't see those people still sitting there on city council? I don't care how much money they spend in marketing, how much money they spend in advertising. You need to get rid of him. You know, he voted last year. Then when it's time for him to be reelected, he's out of there. And let him know. Let him know. Ain't too much we can do now, but I guarantee you, when it comes to that seat, you won't be in it the next time it needs to be there. That's what you need to do. I ain't got around arguing with people. I don't argue. I'm not an arguing person. But I'm a person that believes that the future generation needs to work together. This universe is too big. And if you think you're the only persons here, if you think you live in Virginia Beach and you are the only people that know about Virginia Beach, something wrong with you. But you'll pray to God. So what God are you praying to? The God I serve created the whole universe. So you're saying he had nothing else to do. So he God didn't have nothing to do. So he just created black and white people. That's all he had. Hey, look, oh, go ahead. Y'all do what do you do? Do you do? Do you? Do you? You have day and night. Don't worry about it. Do you? You have an earth, you have a moon. Do you? Don't even worry about nobody else. Don't even worry about Russia or China. That's who you got to worry about. Worry about the president. Worry about the mayor, police department. See, the things that I can't control, I pray. Because I know I pray to the living God, a creator of all that you see and all that you can't see. But he's a just God. He's a living God. Oh, by the way, it was one of my classes I had to take that says, if an alien land today and asked you to take him to your spiritual leader, where would you take him? You'd be surprised of all the people that got it wrong, even though they're in college. But don't tell nobody. All the things we see are not what they are. But I heard this soft voice whispering in my ear. If they keep thinking that it's always going to be sunshine, but when I send rain or I send a little warning of a windstorm or a hurricane their way, notice yet, they ain't got the memo or they ain't listening. God gives you warnings. And in our neighborhood, in the Afro-American community, or Africans or colored people or Negroes. He give us signs. That's how you have to look in the sky. Look at the earth. And when you feel it in your bones or in your spirit, you have to go and say something to someone else. God don't make mistakes. Humans do. Humans do. We all got a dash from the time we were born to the dash that's in between the next number. Whether or not we want to work together, stop fighting against things that we cannot see, instead of then looking at a man and a woman like you and me and said, I believe I made a mistake. Because I think that's what the 10-1 system said. The people in Virginia Beach said maybe we've been looking at things the wrong way. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care who you are. You ain't going to take it with you. You ain't going to take it with you. And you can keep on postponing. But I keep trying to tell you, God got an answer for everybody. Even me. That's why I can tell you. Because I done been through things that you don't see. But everybody's mission is different. My mission is to let you know that's why I'm here, to talk to you. You forgot to pray. You forgot to pray. Well, that's all the time I got. I was going to talk about the Captain85 coloring book. I'm going to be launching it in a few weeks. I hope that I can get some of you to purchase. If you're organizations or nonprofit organizations, to purchase some. And if you could purchase the book and you want to use them in school or churches, we have a program and people to come and educate the young people about life. It's a book about life. It's a book they need because I already lived it. You can't talk about things that you haven't done unless you lived it. I never used a gun to hurt anyone. I never been in a fight. And if I have, I caught myself. Because why am I fighting? Because he's angry at me. But what did I do to make him angry? And I'll help him up and say, I'm sorry. I apologize. And walk away. I've been through so much in my life experience. And my book reflects what I've been through. And I'm just trying to show young people, you don't have to go through it. All you have to do is get a good education. If you need help, ask the teacher. She don't mind helping you. And if she does not want to because she's overwhelmed, understand you in a classroom with 20 or 30 students, and she has to try to help everybody. So while you're playing on your phone, listening to music, why don't you dare put that to the side till you go to lunch? Put it in your locker so you won't be distracted. Get the information you need. Because someday you'll be in a position of teaching. Right now you're learning. And you're learning so much things that it's hard to understand what is right. I don't know who you are. I know you're a child of God. Yellow, black, or white, you're precious in his sight. Jesus loved the little children of the world. And we have to stop paying attention to what God said and not what we just want to say and do. Because when you make mistakes and not listen to the warning signs that God give you, as they say, you just letting the devil fool you. And see, just like we're talking, God and Satan talks too. So y'all have a pleasant day and a nice day. Hope you share this with some people on your Facebook page. Email them or text them. We have to stop looking at the color, because at the end of the day, they getting you every time. The color they looking at is the green. While you looking at me, looking mean. It's the color of the money that they're looking at. Silver and gold, you have none. But if they change it to Bitcoins, well, that's another story for another day. Hope that you come to the city council meeting tonight, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock down at City Hall in Virginia Beach. They're going to be voting on the 10-1, whether they're going to continue it or just try to disband it. More of your tax dollars, more of your tax dollars that's going to be going to waste. Ask yourself what you need to do. Until the next time we meet, to the next time we greet, remember to love yourself, put God first. Everything else will fall in place. It doesn't matter what others think about you. It's what you think about yourself. I enjoyed this conversation and time I spent with you today, but I was a little late, but I get to watching the news. Thank you for watching and listening.